Tradition, success, and money didn't get me anywhere. I was told at a very young age to get ahead in life, you got to go to any length. It took drastic measures to realize what was wrong in my life and to get it right. Hey, my name is Irvan. I used to be a religious Christian, success-driven individual, and a selfish person until something crazy happened. So I grew up in Indonesia, into a Chinese-Indonesian heritage family. When I was young, I had everything: nice house, nice cars. I also have mates when in the house. I grew up in a private high school and private school where it's expensive to go to. And then all my friends are on the same status. We were very comfortable in life and we've got money and everything. In the front, it looks good, but behind closed doors, it was very different. I remember when I was young, I wasn't smart at school. Very hard for me to make it through school. And in my parents, there's also a lot of disharmony within the family. My parents would fight. I would tend to fight with my brother and fight with my parents as well. It's something that's very usual to see. So I grew up in my high school years back in Indonesia. I remember when I was young at that age, my dad always tells me about being successful in life. We always have conversation oftenly in talks about being rich and how to be successful. Normally he tells me about stories how a lot of Indonesian businessmen swindles money to become rich. That really sets my mindset to become successful driven and gain money in every single way by swindling people or doing any other unethical way. That was my motive. All they wanted me to become is very rich, and it didn't matter what it took. By the time I reached adulthood, I was completely selfish. My values were completely wrong. What I thought was wrong was right. What I thought was right was wrong. I didn't know any better. When I was 17, I came to Australia for uni. During my uni times, I went with my friends and visited a local Indonesian church. I brought these values that I was grown up with to my relationship with God. One of the instances was going to church. After going to church, if one of our friends is having a birthday party, it's okay to get drunk. And I think this is the values that I was trained up with, that God is okay with everything. The other one was about being successful and selfish in life. These values I brought up with my relationship with God as well. If someone downgrades my values in life or downgrades my achievement in life, I get so angry and I wanted to become more successful than them and pay them back later in life. And I didn't know any better. There comes to a point of realization in my life where I come to church, I didn't have any relationship with God. I prayed to God, I worshiped God, but there's something blocking me with God. Until one point, a man preached me in the street of Hurstville and talked about the gospel. From that moment on, I felt the truth was being spoken to me from God, because I had prayed about it, prayed about knowing the truth of God. And I asked God that I want to make this right. I want to change my relationship with God, because all I know in my life was about being a religious Christian, going to church and having a relationship with Him. In that altar call, I prayed and I asked God, you know what, I want to make this right. And I want to surrender my life to Him. But there is good news. After I prayed on my altar call, I surrendered my life to God, things changed in my life. I've got a better relationship with God now. Reading the Bible was amazing on how God speaks to me each day on each verse and how it affects my life. Worshipping God is also on top of my values now. One of the great things about being saved is that there's a purpose in life. Before there wasn't any purpose in life, but now, after being saved, God gives me that purpose in life to worship Him, to glorify His name, and on top of that, He's got His covering in my life, which means that family, success, or every single thing in a daily life, God's got me covered. I really thank God for the things that He's done in my life after being saved. Things has changed. My relationship with God has changed. My sins has been forgiven. Now God has given me a new future in Christ, and also God has given me a home in heaven. Now I want you to make the same decision as what I did, going to the altar and also praying to God and being repentant of your sin. In that way, you can be set free and things will change in your life as well.